My name is Elena. Today is a special day. It is my first day as a real doctor. When people see me, they smile. They say, "Congratulations, Elena, you did it." But they do not know everything. They do not know the story behind this day. A few years ago, I was not a doctor. I was not rich. I was not famous. I was not even good in school. I was just a girl with a dream. I wanted to help people. I wanted to become a doctor. But when I told people my dream, they did not believe me. Some people laughed. Some people said nothing. One person said, "That is impossible." My family did not support me. Even my friends said, "Elena, that is too hard for you." For one moment, I believed them. I looked at myself and thought, maybe they are right. But then, something inside me said, "Try. Just try." That small voice gave me courage. So I made a decision. I would not quit. I would try my best. I applied to a small college. It was not famous. It did not have big classrooms or shiny buildings, but it accepted me. I was happy. I smiled. I thought, this is the first step. But I was also scared. I did not know how I would pay for school. I did not have money. I did not have a computer. I did not have books. I only had an old notebook and a dream. I started going to class. I walked to school every day. I wore old shoes. When it rained, my socks got wet. I sat in the back of the classroom. I did not speak much. I listened carefully. I wrote notes in my notebook. At night, I studied on the floor of my small room. I used a small lamp. I was always tired. I wanted to understand my classes better. Many words were in English. So, I started learning English at night. I used free videos online. I repeated the same words again and again. I wrote words on paper and stuck them on the wall. I said them out loud. The heart has 4 chambers. The lungs help you breathe. It was slow. It was not easy, but I kept going. One day, when I was sitting alone at school, the janitor came. He looked at me. I was holding my notebook and reading quietly. He smiled. Then he gave me an old book. It was a book about the human body. He said, "Doctors never stop learning. Maybe this will help you." I said, "Thank you." That book became very important to me. I carried it everywhere. Each night, I wrote something in my notebook. I wrote the same words again and again. Don't give up. Those words helped me stay strong. Nobody believed in me, but I decided to believe in myself. That was the beginning of my journey. It was not the beginning of success. It was the beginning of hard work, the beginning of long nights, the beginning of feeling lost and tired, but it was also the beginning of something powerful. I was not the smartest. I was not the fastest. I was not lucky. But I made a promise to myself. I said, I will not stop. I will not give up. And that is how my story started, with no money, no help, and no support. Just one small voice inside me saying, "Try, just try." That first step was not big, but it was strong. And sometimes, one small step can change everything. Life in college was hard. Every day, I woke up at 4:30 in the morning. I worked in a small bakery from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. After work, I walked to class. Then I studied. At night, I read my books until I fell asleep. I did this every day. I was always tired. My eyes hurt. My back hurt. My mind was full, but I could not stop. I needed money. I needed good grades. I needed to survive. One day I was so tired, I fell asleep during an exam. The teacher looked at me and said, "If you cannot stay awake, you will never pass." I did not cry, but I felt like crying. I felt small. I felt weak. That night, I went home and sat on my bed. I stared at the wall. I said to myself, I can't do this anymore. I picked up the phone and called my mother. I told her everything. I said, "Mom, maybe I should quit." She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Elena, I believe in you, even if no one else does. Don't quit." Her words gave me hope. Just a little hope. Enough to try one more time. But hope does not buy food. Hope does not pay for books. So I worked more. On weekends, I worked longer hours. I studied at night. I slept only 4 hours. My grades went down. I missed homework. I was always late. I was always behind. Then one day, after class, one professor asked to speak with me. He said, "Elena, I don't think you are ready for medical school. You don't belong here." That hurt me. Deep inside, I was already afraid. His words made it worse. I began to ask myself, is he right? Am I wasting my time? My friends stopped calling me. They were going to parties, traveling, living normal lives. I was stuck between work and school, between fear and hope. Then came the worst moment. I failed a big test, a very important test. Without it, I could not move to the next level. I felt empty. I stopped studying. I did not open my books. I did not go outside. I did not speak to anyone for 2 days. I thought, maybe this is the end. I was ready to quit. But then something strange happened. I got an email. It was from the same professor who said I didn't belong. The email said, if you want, you can take the test again next month, but only if you study hard. I didn't understand. Why did he give me another chance? Maybe he saw something in me. Or maybe it was a test, not a school test, but a life test. I decided to try again. But this time, I changed everything. I cleaned a small corner in my room and made it my study space. I put sticky notes on the wall. I wrote words in English and in my own language. I wrote, focus, breathe, learn, you can do it. I used flashcards to study. I listened to lessons while I worked. I recorded my voice reading notes and listened to it while cooking. I joined an online English-speaking group. We met every Sunday, Monday. One girl from India told me, "You are not behind. You are just climbing a harder mountain." Her words gave me strength. Every day, I woke up at 4 a.m. I studied before work. I studied after class. Some nights, I cried in silence. I said, why is this so hard? But I also said, I want to help people. I want to be a doctor. I didn't have many friends anymore, but I had a goal, one clear goal, pass that test. And when the day of the test came again, I was ready. I was scared, but not because I was weak. I was scared because I had given everything. If I failed again, I had nothing left to give. But I took the test, and then I waited. That part of my story taught me something important. Sometimes life gets very heavy. Sometimes everything feels too much. But if you don't give up, if you keep going step by step, even in the dark, you will find the light again. After I passed the big test, I felt hope again. I thought things would get easier. I thought the hardest part was over. But life had another challenge for me, a very painful one. One morning, I was walking to class. My phone rang. It was my sister. She never calls me during the day. I picked up and asked, "What's wrong?" She said, "Dad is in the hospital. He can't breathe." I stopped walking. My hands started to shake. I asked, "Is it serious?" She said, "Yes. Come home. He needs you." I had a very important test that day. If I missed it, I would have to wait 6 more months to take it again. But how could I stay? How could I think about a test when my father was fighting for his life? I told my teacher. He said, "If you leave, you will lose your place. You'll need to take the class again next semester." I did not answer. I just walked away. I went home that night. My father was lying in bed. There were tubes in his nose and machines making sounds. He looked weak. He looked so different. I sat beside him. I held his hand. I said, "Dad, I'm here." He opened his eyes slowly. He smiled. Then he whispered something I will never forget. He said, "Don't stop now. You've come too far. Be the doctor you want to be." Those were the last words he said to me. 1 week later, my father passed away. I did not get to say goodbye again. I did not get one more day with him. I only had that one night, those few words. After he died, I felt broken. I stayed in my room. I didn't eat. I did not study. I did not go to school. I asked myself, why should I keep going if he is not here to see it? I thought about quitting. I really did. But then something unexpected happened. One day, my old teacher from high school came to visit me. I was surprised. She said, "Your mother told me what happened." Then she gave me an envelope. Inside was a letter from my father. He had written it before he died. He gave it to her in case something happened to him. I opened the letter with shaking hands. It said, "Elena, I knew there would be a day when you feel lost. Maybe that day is now. But please remember this. You were born to do this. I do not need to see you in a white coat to be proud. I already see you as a doctor, not because of your job, but because of your heart." I cried. I cried for a long time. I held that letter like it was gold. I read it again and again. It gave me something new, a new reason to continue, a reason bigger than myself. I returned to school. Everyone looked at me with surprise. One girl said, "We thought you dropped out." I said, "No, I'm still here." But I was far behind. I missed many classes. I missed many tests. I asked my teachers for help. Some said no, but one student said yes. Her name was Sarah. Sarah became my study partner. She helped me understand science. I helped her with English. We worked together every day. We studied in the library. We studied in the park. Sometimes we laughed. Sometimes we cried. But we always helped each other. Sarah and I started a small group for students like us. Students who felt lost. Students who were learning English. We helped each other grow stronger. Finally, it was the last day of school. I opened my email. I thought it was about graduation, but it was something else. A hospital had chosen me for their residency program. Out of hundreds of students, they chose me. I could not believe it. I read the email again and again. It had my name. It was real. I went to my mom's room. I showed her the email. She smiled and said, "He would be so proud." I knew she was talking about my dad. Now, I am a real doctor. I wear the white coat. I walk through hospital halls. Some days are hard. Some days are long. But I never think about quitting. Not anymore. One day I met a little girl in the hospital. She looked scared. I smiled and said, "Hello, I'm Elena. I'm your doctor today." She looked at me and asked, "Are you really a doctor?" I laughed and said, "Yes, I am." In that moment, I remembered every hard day, every tear, every failure, and I knew it was all worth it. So if you are tired, or scared, or feel like giving up, please don't. Your dream is waiting for you. It needs your courage. It needs your heart. Don't stop now. Keep going. Keep learning. You are stronger than you think. Elena's story is not just about becoming a doctor. It is about not giving up. It is about trying, even when life is hard. It is about believing in yourself, even when no one else does. She did not have money. She did not have support. She failed many times. She cried many nights. But she always came back. She stood up. She kept going. Her father believed in her. Her mother gave her hope. A teacher gave her a second chance. A friend helped her study. And Elena never forgot the words, "Don't stop now." From the first step to the final exam, her journey was full of pain, but also full of strength. She worked in the morning, studied at night, learned English by herself, and never gave up on her dream. Even when her father passed away, even when she felt lost, she found a reason to continue. And in the end, that little girl who once sat alone with an old notebook became a real doctor. She now helps others. She brings hope to people who are scared. And every time someone calls her doctor, she remembers how far she has come. What can we learn from Elena's story? We learn that dreams take time. They take effort. They take heart. We don't need to be perfect. We don't need to be the best. We only need to keep going step by step, just like Elena. Maybe your dream is different. Maybe you want to speak English better. Maybe you want to help your family. Maybe you want to change your life. And maybe it feels impossible right now. But if you keep going, if you practice every day, if you don't stop, you will get there. So keep learning, keep moving forward, and remember Elena's words. Try, just try. Don't stop now. Congratulations. You made it to the end of the story. That means you have improved your English listening and understanding. Be proud of yourself. You are already stronger than you think. Now, here's a small question for you. Let's see how well you remember the story. What did Elena's father say to her before he died? A. Be careful with your next test. B. Don't stop now. You've come too far. Comment your answer below. A or B. We will read your comments and reply. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our channel. It helps us a lot. When you subscribe, we feel happy and motivated to make more stories to help you learn English. Also, if you can, please donate or support us. In the beginning, it is very hard for us to keep making high-quality content. We do this for free, from the heart, just to help you learn. But with your help, we can continue and grow. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, don't quit. Not today, not ever.